And welcome back to West Coast Weekend. I am still ZoeVermilion, but now I am joined by MoistRock for No Straight Roads and a couple of fantastic commentators as well. Do you want to introduce yourselves? How that works?
All right. Hi, guys. My name's MoistRock. Right now, I'm the current record holder for the NMG category for any percent. And I also one of the moderators for the speedrunners.com. And if my commentators could introduce themselves.
You can go ahead, Midnight.
I'll go for okay. Yeah, I'm Midnight_Vesper.
And I am Kingsley Salt.
And we are all runners of the game. You know, we've all ran this game over like thousands of times. And so what No Straight Roads is essentially a beat-em-up style rhythm adventure game. And it was made by a Malaysian indie studio, essentially. This is their first game, Metronomic. And yeah, we're going to go straight into it because a lot of the explanation we can do during the tutorial. So timer will start as soon as we select the number of players. So 3, 2, 1, start. And so there's just a disclaimer for this run. So the previous patch that the world record is in 1.3, but just a few days ago, actually, No Straight Roads actually got a holiday update. So all of the bosses have a second mode where all of the themes are holiday themed and all of the aesthetics as well. The only problem is the update actually came with a lot of changes to the base game. So essentially, I have been running this game for the past like 3-4 days trying to figure out all the changes. And so, no, I'm not going into this blind, and we have the routing for this run that we can do. And since we have a separate category now in the speedruns.com, this will technically be a world record no matter what happens. So yeah.
And before we kind of get to the plot line, do you, Sea-Salt, do you just kind of would have run through what just happened with the dashing there?
So the thing with the dashing is that you gain momentum every time you roll off of a ledge. So you get like this mid dash, air dash in a sense. And we don't unlock that until later part of the game. So
in terms of the plot line, what you kind of go through right now is you control these two characters, Mayday and Zook. And they are both members of the band Bunkbed Junction. And they're auditioning to be part of this wonderful thing called No Straight Roads. And the way it normally works is they play rock music, and you find out that everyone that's involved in terms of No Straight Roads of artists are all EDM or aspects of EDM. So in there, we're going to have different genres of EDM, including like a idol type thing, like neoclassical, traditional dance music, and a couple other ones that we're going to talk about later on. And this is kind of
sorry. I just wanted to clarify. So in this game, it's where no one character is actually stronger than the other. So right now we're playing with Mayday, but in this run, we are always going to be switching between the two when the opportunity arises. And so right now we're playing as Mayday. I don't know if you're reading the text, but essentially Mayday is the heavy hitter of the band. Her attacks tend to be slower, but she does more damage overall. So if the majority of the approaches, we're going to be using her because her attacks will kill enemies much faster than Zook can. But Zook has his special properties that will be explained as soon as we get through this section.
And again, this is mostly tutorial mode, explaining how to go off and go through everything along those lines. As we said earlier, it is kind of a rhythm-based game, so you're going to see more along the lines in a second to where there are certain times where we're going to have to hit on a beat. And basically it works is that normally in a traditional measure, there are 4 beats in that particular measure, and then there are 4 measures to get a phrase. And that's going to be explained a little bit more detail here in a couple of seconds when we switch over to Zook, and then when we go ahead and get into some of the fights later on.
Initiate the second phase.
All right, and now we're Zook. Zook is the drummer of the band. So one thing to note, the dialogue at the top will explain it, but essentially Zook has faster attacks, but he's weaker. But he can cancel all attacks with rolling and such things like that. But there's an unintended property to his attacks. So actually found by King Sea-Salt, there's something that's called jump canceling. So what happens is, you see he has 3 hits here, and I have to have a cooldown period for him to do it again. But if I jump cancel, and jump cancel, I'm just pressing the attack button, or I'm pressing jump while I'm attacking. I can reset the counter back to 1. This is going to be useful for DJ Subatomic. And also you saw I attacked super fast here. If I can get it again. Ooh. Okay, this is not looking good. But essentially, he has a rapid fire mode here. So this becomes a lot easier when we upgrade the amount of hits, which will be 5 hits in total. And then once we get that going, then we get a lot more DPS out of enemies that are standing still.
Yeah, so pretty much Zook is really known as your DPS guy. Funny enough, how I actually found like the technique is because I play a lot of fighting games, and one of my biggest fighting games is Street Fighter 4. So we use like a technique that's called P-Link, or priority linking. It's when you're pressing 2 buttons simultaneously together. So it's one right after the other. So it's like you're hitting your primary attack and your jump at the same time, and that's how you actually get the jump cancel.
And just so you know, earlier when they explained the rhythm buffs that are in here, there is a little tiny issue with, and I'm not sure if it got fixed in this version,
Initiate the final phase.
in the new patch, but when you first get the rhythm buff, there's a chance that the game can trick you in terms of an audio trick. So you don't actually get the actual attack, you get the audio trick, but no actual attack, which can slow you down a little bit.
We're going to switch to Mayday here because there's going to be some security bots on the ground, and it's going to be faster with 3 hits. Grab notes, fire, and the position of all these transformable items will always be in the same spot. So it'll be right, left, right, left.
And our projectiles are actually music notes as well. You get technically, I believe, they're 8th notes, or dotted 8th notes. I don't really remember, but that's just technical jargon.
All right. Yeah, that was a good tutorial.
Yeah.
General average time for tutorial will be around like 6 minutes and 3 seconds. My PB has been literally 5 minutes, 5:59 seconds, because I got all 3 rapid fires on those 3 bumper bots. And so just to explain what just happened after skipping that, we failed the audition. We didn't have a sob story, so we didn't get the golden buzzer, and we have been kicked out. And later on, we are going to find out that Tatiana, the leader of NSR, is just banning Rock All entirely. So, yeah.
I feel you, man.
Soul Bulldozer.
Yeah, so Bulldozer. That's the best line of the game. There are so many great one-liners, and there are so many great references to so many other things about this game. But every time I just hear May say the word bulldozer, it just makes me smile every time. This game in general just makes me smile every time I play it.
Oh, yeah, I love this
It's really
game.
such a great game.
Also,
Oh, and also,
go ahead.
oh yeah, so the reason why we switched to Zook here is because before we can get the air dash function, Zook has a shorter roll than Mayday, and you can use this buffer time in between to actually get more distance, at least from what I've recorded beforehand. So you'll see Mayday's rolls go a bit longer but are slower. Zook is generally pretty fast overall. And so just some context and like some lore about some of the stuff that's going to happen. So this game does have a bit of inspiration from Cuphead, with pink projectiles being parryable. And so the game almost runs sort of like a boss rush fight, but there's going to be approaches, which are platforming stages in between. And what we're going to right now is just straight to a boss fight. But if you, there's someone on YouTube who actually found out that DJ Subatomic, he actually had approach music. So it was like an unused OST that is now on YouTube. I believe the user's name is Drunken Luna, and you can find all of the OST for the game, including the transformation music, which is a second track layered on top of all the stages.
The other thing about the music is that each song has a different remix of it. So you have the traditional one that you hear at the beginning, and then you're also gonna hear possibly a more rock style remix, kind of mixing in between, and then a pure rock style. So each song has an EDM, a mix, and a rock version of it, which, depending on how well you do in between the boss battles, will change during the battle.
It sounds so good.
Yeah.
All right, and now we're on to DJ.
This is DJ Subatomic Supernova. Like we mentioned earlier, it's all EDM based. This is more of the house traditional style EDM music. With these are these kind of disco balls we have to do. We have to attack 4 of them to end this first phase here. Each of them contains about 4 to 3 music notes, and we use those music notes as projectiles to attack DJ Subatomic Supernova.
And these planets are sure RNG based, and they can definitely switch up on you on the second phase. So what he's doing right now is that he's actually doing a similar version of the jump cancels, but instead of doing like the full, he's just doing a jump in a hit combo. So you just be able to faster just hit the planets. And every planet usually drop about 7 to 9 nodes before zooming away. And it takes about like 5 planets to end this phase.
You notice he also went counterclockwise against the planets, because that's actually faster.
There's also one big change about this update. They changed the textures of the planets in the third phase, and I don't know if I peeped the rainbow one in the back, but it actually reminds me of Ed and Eddie with the Jawbreakers.
And the red attack that you sit in there when it gets set up, real quick, is the planet stop moving, which gives you the opportunity to get more music notes between each individual one. With this, so they have the music EQ in there. I was just double checking. It's on the third beat of every single attack is when you're supposed to parry, which helps do more damage against DJ Subatomic Supernova.
So pretty much we're just gonna be parrying him to death.
Yeah. We got one more, I believe.
Mm-hmm.
And then they do this showstopper, which is kind of the final end, the final big limit break, if you will. I'm an RPG guy. So the limit break here, they switch out a canister, and then they end up powering up and ending the boss fight, ending the phase here.
Big bands.
And that is our DJ Subatomic Supernova boss fight down.
All I can say is just the music in this is really so sour please and cat jam.
Yeah. And
the little screen. Sorry to cut in, but so basically, basic time on DJ 206 is fine. Generally, you could have gone, or I could have gone faster. Fastest I've ever gone, it was 158. But with the RNG, so one thing that we didn't mention with the update is a lot of the camera work got changed. So in that fight particularly, it's a lot harder to see what's behind you because they zoom the camera really close. Before you could see like ring like 1 through 3 in a single shot. Now you can only like see 1 if you're going for the closest planet next to them, which is always constant. So that's just really unfortunate that that happened. And I don't know if you noticed, but with the ranking system, so the ranks will give you fans, and fans are essentially it's like a progression system where you can get upgrades with them. And so in this run, we are always going to be getting 2 S's from DJ and then Sayu. And then after that, we are done. We don't care about our rank after that because we are going to get the lowest rank as much as possible throughout the rest of the run, since it decreases the amount of time we spend on the results screen. This is Gigi, but no one cares about him. I'm sorry, dude, but...
Yeah, he's such a cool guy, though. It says it in the title.
Well,
his description is a cool guy, but unfortunately... Yeah.
It's just a bit of filler.
Yeah. We do kind of talk to him. Again, the whole point is, like, the big thing here is we discovered earlier that NSR is basically... There's issues involving power. There's issues involving random blackouts that happen throughout the city, and then what happened is that at the very end of the first time, we noticed that May and Zook noticed that when the power outages happen, the only places that get the majority of the power are going to be the villains that we fight. So now we're on this kind of campaign to like share the power and stuff like that. We did end up meeting with Cliff. Cliff is an all-around great guy. He will never do anything wrong with us whatsoever.
Never.
Never.
Will not.
Biggest fanboy of rock and roll.
Yep. Also, funny thing about the update, before he introduced himself in the 3D model, it was just a closed mouth smile. But this update, they decided to show his white teeth. You know, doesn't make him look suspicious at all. And right now that we talked with Cliff, we are now doing the briefing with Sayu. But while we are, okay, my bad. So while we're doing the briefing with Sayu, we are going to also be doing a bunch of upgrades, and we are going to do some planning for ahead of the run. So here we go. Just gonna talk about Fyra. Definitely not gonna be relevant to the plot.
No, Ghoulings, no. Just
So
May's a huge fan of just the Ghoulings in general. But
yeah.
I just wanted to point out that according to the briefing that Cliff gives us, Sayu's main weapon is called a Pune Trident, and I just think that's seriously adorable.
Oh. Okay, so since I have time here, I need to explain all the steps, and it's a lot. So first thing we did is we fed our pet alligator, Ellie. And so the reason why we're doing that is because if we feed her 5 times and it resets after every boss fight, we get access to the quick travel station. So it'll be once after DJ, it's going to be second Sayu, third's going to be DK, fourth will be Yinu, and then fifth will be Tenten. And then the mods are essentially our abilities. So if you look at the top left, you can't see it now, but we have basically hands. Our arms are showing near our pictures. So that's an indication of our meter. So we have the first and one of the most useful mods for Mayday, which is Mars Attack. And we're going to be using that in the approach and every single boss fight, essentially, because it will, in approaches, it will kill 3 enemies always. And then for the boss fights, it just does a lot of damage. And then we're going to equip one mod on Zook as soon as we fight Yinu, which are essentially going to be just projectiles. And we're about to head to our first platforming section. This is by far the most stressful one because there are 9 security floors. And I will let my commentators take over from here because, yeah.
The approaches are mostly, actually, Seasalt, you want to talk about the approaches real fast?
So one with their approaches is just that you just need to get to about 7 to about 8 levels, security levels, to actually get to the last boss.
And that's mostly what Cliff is doing here. Cliff is just kind of informing us about what's going on. So with this one, we have a very strategic way of doing things. What we're going to happen here is we're gonna dash 3 times. We're going to attack him for that, and then we're going to go ahead and completely fill that. If you look at the very end of each individual one, there are green dots. That indicates, or actually there's red dots that turn into green dots. That indicates how many we have to actually kill in order to clear that security level. Once again, we had the lateral dashing there you just saw. That's actually going to be very important to this one, and I believe in 1010 is when that's all going to be going into play. We use kind of all of that to kind of make sure we do everything along those lines.
Mm-hmm. And as you see right here, it's like you're going to see him dash off the ledge to get that extra dash momentum.
Okay, I'm going to go on to security level 5. Really good security level so far. From here, we're going to end up ledge rolling and double jumping onto the moving platform that you see. Just like that. And then we're going to fall off to trigger where the respawn point is, so that we can go ahead and attack these other 2 sentries. And then again, ledge roll again to make sure we end up getting exactly where we need to go. Save as much time as we possibly can. Same thing with kind of here on room 6. We're going to ledge roll double jump off these main platforms here. We're going to end up kind of attacking these and go straight through and attacking the sentries. And if you see that red kind of circle there, that's actually a damage indicator to where they can hit you. You can usually block or anything else along those lines too. If you get hit, that way you can take as little time to fix to rebound as much as you can. So we're going to ledge roll here, and then immediately we're going to use Mars Attack, and that's going to attack all 3 of these enemies, clearing this particular security level here.
Doing a good job so far.
Great job so far. Nice. So with those particular moving platforms, depending on how well you do throughout this entire thing, they can spawn at a different location than where you were, making you have to wait and sit down here, kind of twiddling your thumbs for it to move back so you can actually jump on it. You can't ledge roll onto that thing or else you're going to fall off and get stuck in a loop. Mm-hmm. And this is our last one here. We're going to go ahead and I believe attack all 6 of them. There are actually 7 here. And we have a kind of this continued platform going, left, right, left to minimize as much steps as we need to. And that completes our first approach going into Sayu, who is best waifu.
Make sure to get your sour please ready.
Yeah.
All right, and the Sayu fight, she is basically, her inspiration comes from Vocaloids, YouTubers, whatever you want to call them, and so for the very first phase, all we're doing is we're just rolling with Zook. Again, he's the fastest out of the two in terms of ground speed right now. This is all just chasing. Fun note about that specific cutscene that I just skipped. She'll do, she does like this pew, 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 and then when it zooms into her face. In the prototype build of this game, she used to do a winky face, supposed to be really cute. And then in the full release up to 1.3, she had like this crooked, crazy-eyed look. And then they patched it again in this 1.4, where it's now just regular eyes. So kind of weird visual changes. And here, it kind of shows that there's a motion box person, and now it comes to take over.
Yeah. So one quick thing before we get into discussing it, this is one of the few ones that actually have some lyrics to the actual song, and I think it's Nikki Simmons, I think is the name of the person who ends up singing through all of this.
So the reason why we go for motion box here is because it disables all of Sayu's attacks throughout the rest of the phase, and the same thing we'll go for in phase 3. And unfortunately, what I got there was the Rain of Fish attack. That is the worst out of the two that you can get, and it's completely RNG based because it can interrupt you while you are attacking. So that's never fun, but what are you gonna do?
Also, for what it's worth, every phase that we go through, Sayu slightly evolves. And if you notice, every time we end up attacking these particular arts, her face changes to like a somewhat kind of angry, or being hurt. Like, and this is kind of where we get more of the Vocaloid PC things. Now notice there's an actual mouse at the bottom. That's not your mouse, that is actually programmed in here. So now we're in night mode.
Stop running away, Sayu!
I have to stop myself from singing throughout all this.
It's such a good song.
It is, though. Oh, there it is. There's another great quote. There's a Sailor Moon quote, and the name, what was it? The actual name is "In the Name of Love, I'll Punish You." And so there's a Sailor Moon quote. We also get some other great pop culture references throughout this entire game. So we go through that one intentionally because the idea with that is to try to disable as many of her attacks as we possibly can going into this particular fight. There's a particular order that has to go to so we can try to disable as much as we can.
And you just don't want to get interrupted when attacking. Just lose so much time.
Yeah. We also switch back over to Mei here. While she's in Powerhouse and we lose less combos, we need to build up her main powerful attack so we can have more Mars attacks later on into this boss fight. And the way you can judge that is if you look at the character's health bars, on the left-hand side, you kind of see fists and stuff like that. The more that builds up is the more we can actually use other Mars attacks later on. And those folders are also there to help kind of like give us secondary attacks or maybe the way to disable her attack. The little boxes that you see are ways that we're going to end up getting health later on if we need to, or to refill our combo attack meter or final attack.
And they sure do appear in all the bosses.
And then this phase is the runaway section, phase 4. So basically all we have to do is run away, kind of get back to where we particular were, and we just have to dodge a bunch of attacks. Now, if you notice, there's two more mice that are on the screen. One is basically to help protect us, and then the other one is going to be there to actually try and hurt us. As you can see, they're trying to going back and forth. There's actually a completely the camera angles here in the 1.4 patch really kind of help change things a little bit for us. So the runaway, that was a really smooth runaway, by the way. You notice Sayu has been basically evolving this whole time. So now we're on to the last and final phase of this. We get a beautiful little cutscene where she ends up showing her final phase where she's a giant fish with legs. And then we're going to actually
show that inner beauty.
Sorry.
Okay.
And then we're going to parry, I believe, 4 times for these 4 phases that are up here. We saw these kind of boxes earlier, like assembly kits. And then from there, we're going to end up using our folders to end up trying to get some more attack and stuff like that. And as you can see, we just used another Mars attack. So now we have one. So now we have one of the phases left. And that should be the last of it, I think.
just one hit away.
There we go. Okay.
All right, she was just being a little trolly.
Yeah, okay. So, one of the things that the 1.4 update unfortunately did is they made that whole last section a lot harder to do. So all of those 3 boxes that protect the art box, they have more health now. So before the old routing was you parry 2 times for the motion box and it just kills it. What we had to do here, we had to do 2 parries, and then we had to grab notes, like all 6 of them, shoot at him. We have to activate the turret, and then turret will randomize between video and the music box. And it's a whole lot of it's just so much harder, and it adds on around 9 to 12 seconds to the run overall from the previous patch, but again, nothing can do about it. And as long as I get an S here, then we are on track for our fan count.
Let's hope for the best.
Should be enough.
Yeah.
That looks like an S, yep. All right,
Yep, there we go. All right. Shaka-laka bam.
All right, and then all the stuff that we grabbed from Sayu is all worthless because we do not use her mods because it's just a healing and it's a melee enhancer, but yeah, just not good enough.
No.
Other than that, we are going to unfortunately proceed to a 5 to 7 minute auto scroller.
But it's the best,
we have
though.
time. No, it isn't. My friends torment me.
I'm thinking of the
they
artist.
found out that they found out I ran this game, and then they're like listening to the music. They see on stream I'm playing DK West constantly. So what do? They put the DK West music on loop with a Discord bot, and then I'm just suffering.
It sounds like a good time. I don't know. I don't know what you're talking about.
There's only so much DK West one person can handle.
So the thing about DK West plot-wise is now that we went off and did that, the word of their band, Mayday and Zook's band, is kind of rising now. It's getting a little bit more popular because we just beat 2 of the main big artists that are in this area. So naturally, we're accumulating more fans, more people kind of getting to know what's really going on in the underground circuit. So our main big enemy, Tatiana, is kind of catching wind about what's going on. Also, there's Zam, our radio DJ. He's an awesome dude, but again, we don't really see him or do anything else along those lines. So what happens here is that Tatiana, the main bad guy in this entire thing, is going to end up summoning Zook's brother, DK West. And during this whole rap battle, if you guys want to start spamming DK West is best in chat, that'd be great. But the whole thing here... but the whole thing here is this is a rap battle. And just like if you played Guitar Hero, if you played Rock Band, you know kind of the formula here. Now, like we also said earlier, this was a Malaysian company. What you're going to hear is a mix of a traditional rap battle that they do over there, and I forget the name of it. But basically, they do rap battles. They do all of it in English, but occasionally they do like a half split occasionally. So what happens is you're gonna hear stuff that's in English, but also hear things in the Malaysian language. And majority of the time, DK West speaks, I believe, in the Malaysian language with the occasional certain word every now and then in English.
Oh, you should see West in school. He ain't nothing but a
So while we have this time, because it's all an auto-scroller, I just wanted to give like some insight of like who I am as a player, and it isn't meant to be like any like sloppy or like it's not like cliche. So I'm actually not much of a speedrunner. I actually come from the FGC. I'm a fighting game player, mainly Blaze Blue, and basically what I wanted to say is that I only started speedrunning when this game came out. I bought this game on release, I beat it within 6 hours, and then I just said, wow, I really love this game, what it was about, but it was such a short time for it to be played. Like, how can I get replay value out of it? So I just started like, hey, what if I just speedrun instead? So I did like this one casual speedrun with no upgrades, beat the game in like a little above 2 hours. Then I went on speedruns.com, and I see King Sea Salt took the NMG category in like an hour and 30 minutes. I was like, you know what? I think I can take that. So again, I just played this game over and over, started refining, the routing. I started applying Zook jump cancels, and I took the record like an hour and 24, and then I just kept playing over and over more. And at this point, it's down to an hour and 10 minutes and 30 seconds. And I just want to say, it's not talent. This isn't just natural born. Like, this is hard work, not only from me, but from the rest of the community. Everyone has been really supportive, and it's not just NA. We have runners in Japan. We have Zuka and MoistRock. Zuka is basically my rival for like all the categories, and he has the any percent category right now. And then also from Europe, we have Taja Streams. She was the one who actually even mentioned the whole fast travel thing. I was just like doing a run. They said, why don't you just fast travel? How do I do that? Oh, just feed the alligator. Okay, and that saved a minute. And then in this next approach for Yinu after this one person just entered our speedrun Discord by his name's Squidly Odd, and he kind of just disappeared, where he's like, guys, you can do an out of bounds trick in the approach. Really? And then he just posted a YouTube video, and then he just never responded ever again. But that saves like another 2 minutes right there. So again, the community has been really supportive, and if you ever wanted to speedrun this game in particular, join the Discord. We're more than happy to help people who are trying to get into the game. Like, no one's gonna judge you for how slow you are. Just give it a chance. Just try and improve after every run. And on that note also, if you want to learn how to play fighting games, hit me up. I'm always trying to get people into BlazBlue Central Fiction, Cross Tag. I mean, I'm also trying to get my friend into Tekken right now, so yeah.
Also, the developers of the game, shout out to the developers and all that they do, because a lot of times you'll see the voice actors go into random people's like speedrunners chat. They love the community as a whole. They really do what they can. It's such a cool concept. It's such a cool kind of news cycle to have this kind of platformer thing mixed in with rhythm games. And so Metronomic is a very, very small indie group. And like I said, I know the voice actor of Zook, Stephen Bones, was also in the first step chat when J Hobbs and Kizron did this for their first show on the Hotfix.
It's just absolutely a fantastic game. It's so unique, and from a person just well, me personally, I always love like rhythm games. So anything with rhythm, it is pretty much up my alley.
All right, and this is the very last phase of the fight. And so one thing that was interesting is they actually did decrease the damage you take from all of these little red things. And I'm fairly certain that was in response because there's 2 more fights to DK West 2 and 3, but we do not need to do it for this category. There we go.
DK,
and now we have a... Oh yeah, go.
Yeah. This is so much fun to watch. But like, if you ever want to really challenge yourself with rhythm games, try DK West 2 and 3. Oh man, they are something else.
I had to do it for the 100% category.
Yeah.
It's so hard. Like, it's hard in the sense that the camera angle is like steeper, so you can't really see much ahead of you. So that's like part of the challenge. And this is the biggest change by far. Well, not biggest. It's a pretty significant change, though. You can now get a C rank in this, which, oh no, it's bad, but actually, we just saved 7 seconds compared to the 1.3 patch. And it essentially makes up for the Sayu changes in the final phase in Sayu. So, any positive change like this is gladly appreciated.
Yep.
As they say, you know, failing in this game is good. Don't worry.
True. Okay. And now we are going to talk about Yinu, the child prodigy who plays a piano. Yada yada exposition.
White bloom piano. I forget what else it is there. But again,
this is the 3rd time we're being Ellie.
Yep.
And upgrades right here. So we're getting a second charge hit, increased damage for notes, more notes on an enemy death, longer transformations, and then the air dash. And a parry buff, which will give us 3 notes whenever we parry objects, which is going to be really crucial for this next boss fight.
Oh yeah, Yinu's fun.
But before that, look who it is. It's Gigi again.
Told you, he's a cool guy. He's even got the finger guns and everything.
Don't worry, we're gonna see him later.
Yeah. I mean, if he was a cool dude, he wouldn't get in the way of the speed run, but
Also, I don't know if this has been fully patched out. I know at one point they were discussing it. So when this game first launched, it launched on PC, PS4, Xbox, and Switch. So it was all released on all particular ones. When I first picked up this game, day one, I had it on the Switch. Within, I think, one of the first times I started speedrunning it is when MoistRock started also, or King Sea Salt came into my chat, and you immediately realized there were things that were in the PC version that were not in the Switch version, and vice versa.
Yeah, I think it might have been me, because I think I saw the E fight is significantly different in the Switch version. I want to say it's easier, but well, at the time that we knew, because her transformations, it didn't matter if she left. This is like going ahead of schedule, like explaining it, but essentially like she would teleport, but she'd always be present in the Switch version. That doesn't happen in the PC one. And then also Tatiana's attack patterns are different in Switch, but right now we are going to do the out of bounds trick for the approach. So, and this is
Still amazes me.
This gives us good insight on actually how the approaches work. So we are gonna do 2 dashes here. And now I'm gonna be using visual cues because Zook is going to have to basically rebound to where we are, but he's gonna be above us. And as you can see, all the enemies are actually standing still. So how these the approaches actually work is each room is generated one at a time. So the death plane, the enemy attack patterns, everything, they don't activate unless you trigger the transportation from the previous room. But because we skipped room 1, nothing's activating. And here we are, we're on room 5 right here. We're gonna be using the 2 rocks when they disappear as a visual cue.
And it's good that you're actually using all this visual cues, or you just like fall into a never-ending void.
Yep, and we're gonna wait for the full moon. Oh, hey Mayday, how you doing? That's bad. Okay, well, Zook disappeared, that's fine. And we're right here.
It's okay.
Bit of a time loss. Mayday, please not spawn. Thank the Lord. All right, that's fine.
Everything's fine.
All right, and now the Inu fight. Take it away, Mr. Sea Salt.
All right, so with the Inu fight, there is 5 phases, and 4 of the phases is you're going to be fighting a mom. So in the first phase, we're going to be busting down that padlock. We're going to be using Mayday right here. I personally use Zook, but with Mayday, it takes 15 hits to break. And when it comes up to the next phase, we will pick up some notes and we're going to damage her piano.
And what you're seeing right there, I'm using a skill from I'm using an ability from the skill tree. Basically, if we stand still and we're in an idle animation, we build up meter. So right there, I have 1 full bar. Oh. Okay, that's fine. All right, spawned in a good position. There we go.
Nice.
Phase 1.
That's very optimal too.
Yeah, nice.
So right here in the second phase, we're going to be transforming, I want to say these fans, but we're going to turn them into cannons so we can actually shoot the strings off the piano off the mother's hands. And also right here is that we're going to be doing Zook cancels, jump cancels right here, so we can actually skip the 1 cycle. Well, do a 1 cycle, I'm sorry. And he got it, no problem.
Also, that is Inu's mom.
Yeah, she's a tree.
Yeah, yeah.
Also, what I did there, you're actually able to damage her in between the phases. So you see, I actually did some damage for phase 3. Oh, shoot. Got it.
Nice.
That could have been really bad. And I need some notes to drop, please. Hey, there we go. Pick up the devil.
Nice.
And one thing you're going to be hoping for in this particular phase and next phase is energy drinks. So he can kind of build up his meter so he can be able to do more damage.
Shout out to Red Bull.
And
I'm gonna wait for it.
very great cancels.
Yeah. Nice. Very nice job. And when you're on
this is all RNG.
Yeah, when you're on this
Right here.
phase, it's best to stay with May, because if you end up doing what he does with Zook, instead of actually attacking Yinu on the piano, it'll actually suck up the extra musical notes, which in turn gives you projectiles, but it doesn't help you in the long run.
So in the beginning of the fight, he's going to go off to the top right, and he's going to grab some notes from the tentacles. And we can actually build up the ammo to shoot out the bomb. And we're going to try to... Oh, got some energy drinks. Nice. And we're just going to just do as much as damage as possible.
This is slightly slower, but that's fine because we just beat her.
Very nice new fight.
All right, and right here, this is the end of the boss fight. And now we just end it with a shock block of bam.
Get ready for a Chocolatas.
One way to end this.
Way ahead of you, Zook.
Green light.
Great job so far, man. Great job so far.
Thanks, man.
Very impressed on the Zoot cancels.
Yeah, really.
Make me so proud.
Just kidding, we're not done yet. We got one more auto scroller. And fun fact, you cannot die here. You know all these notes that people have been worrying about in their casual playthrough? Yeah, they don't really matter. And look right here, I can't die. Woo! But we're still gonna take more damage because we want to get we want a worse score, so that way we waste less time on the results screen.
Yes, dying in this game is really good.
Yeah.
You get a C rank.
There we go. And then final note, standing still, get hit by it, and we're done.
Nice.
Yeah, and while we're on the results screen, can I just say that this is by far the darkest, I would say lore-wise for Ginu, because this isn't to be edgy. This is canonical. When you look into her collections, which are her family photos, her father's dead. Yeah, so the father had a disease or something, single mother, and we just broke their family heirloom. The only thing that she can remember her father by, we just broke it. So, you know, really fitting music, actually. You can hear the despair. I mean, we're not trying to ruin her life, but we have a speedrun to do, so yeah, we're really sorry about that.
But Rox, the kids.
My work here is done, but you didn't do anything. And then I just proceed to 10-10 at this point. All right, it's the third. So we are basically at the halfway point.
And now on to 10-10.
Everyone's favorite. No sarcasm involved.
No.
Yeah. So, when we're talking about losers and winners of the patch, 10-10 was by far the most significant in terms of the approach and the fight, per se. So, I will just feed Ellie here, and I will equip the mod for Zook that we just got from Yinu. Thank you. Right here. Oh, nope, not the right one. Oop. There we go, Arpeggio Assault, that's what we need. It's basically a projectile that we get. It's those notes that we were parrying, so there's that. And so the 1.4 change to 10-10. It is really bad, and it makes it harder for anyone who's trying to get into the game now, because basically, just like the Sayu approach, they're moving platforms in throughout the security levels. But for some odd reason, they move 2 to 3 times slower now. So to get certain cycles, you have to be very precise with your movement. And I've been trying to find a proper routing for this. I think I have something set, but it is still very hard to do. You need to be able to, you need to be able to do everything within the second room. The second room is what determines how well the rest of the approach will be. Please let me place the vinyl. All right.
That is a tricky thing, because when you place the vinyl, it's the same thing as jump. So if you're a little bit too fast or a little bit too slow, you can actually get into a jumping loop there instead of actually placing the vinyl. Not that I've ever done that or anything.
Yeah. Also, you can switch characters in between the loading zone. So that way we're able to position ourselves as Zook, and we're on to destroy K-pop.
Yeah, so 10-10 is based off of the idol concept. So you're thinking of like BTS, that type of thing, where there's, 6, 7 people all kind of harmonizing. If you're a 90s kid like me, think of more along the lines of like Backstreet Boys, NSYNC, 98 Degrees. They put that with a robotic tone and a very EDM style. So with this, we immediately have to go off and attack the left bot to go ahead and trigger the next phase. And like we said earlier, everything has to be done extremely precisely. We have to do 2 ledge rolls to get off of that moving platform immediately. And then we're going to kill these 2 fly bots. And the fly bots are actually, like we mentioned earlier, are rhythm based. So if you think about it in the sense of music, each fly bot will be on they'll attack on the second beat of the second measure of a phrase, and then they're going to go off and attack on the 4th beat of one phrase on the 4th measure. So that may be a little bit confusing. To counter that, we try to end up using as many projectiles as possibly can, as well as counting in time. So we kind of kill those bots. We're going to switch to Zook to use the notes from Parry, and we kill the 2 fly bots, opening up the gate. So we're going to hit the black robot once. I'm going to parry the 2. We're going to parry these 2 fly bots.
Is the stream behind? Because I'm in the 4th room right now.
Yeah, I think I'm a little behind here. Yeah.
Okay. There we go.
At least they didn't troll you this time.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. I don't think I have the right setup for this, but we'll see if I can adjust.
Yeah, so right here, we're going to air dash past all of these enemies, and we're going to fire the 2 notes at the 2 fly robots, and then we're going to try and activate our respawn point here, so that when we die, we end up respawning actually more forward in there, just like that. We're going to switch to melee like you just did. We're going to move forward for a little bit and kind of...
Oh, no.
Wow.
That is rough. Okay, that's fine. We just have to wait a little bit.
That's the first time I've ever seen that, too.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, and we're going to move forward through all of these things. And once again, kill the 2 fly bots. And just we did, like, we're going to reset the spawn point here so we can go off and kill those robots again. Wait for it, and then boom. So that is the 10-10 approach.
Yeah, unfortunately, that last room was really rough. I mean, I usually lose runs to 10-10 anyway, so nothing new here.
Don't we all? Don't we all?
Okay, so I can explain this whole boss fight. So if you're familiar with the 10-10 fight, there are 4 phases. One being the intro, second being redeployment phase, and then... oh, shoot. Okay, this is a bit off, but it's fine. So you can actually skip the 3rd phase, which... oh, gosh. You can skip the 3rd phase, which is a auto-scroller. So kill red bot here. It goes to phase 2 now. So we can't do anything here, so we're just going to build up meter with the idle. And so just remember earlier, I said that Mars attack can be used to hit 3 enemies. Well, we're going to kill 3 of the 10-10 members, so that leaves only white and blue left. But there's actually a hidden 3rd person, which is Neon J. So we're going to wait. Double parry, kill white, or kill yellow first. Double parry, kills red. This will kill green. And watch closely. Neon J got hit. Nice. We need to build a meter for another Mars attack. And now, white and blue are not going to die here. That's completely fine. We need to keep smacking white for more meter. And now we're going to use Mars attack.
Attack from there.
There we go.
Nice.
And we got the skip.
Yep.
So, this is another new thing in the patch. So, oh, wait, I can't move. Uh-oh, this could be bad. Okay, so we're building a meter. You can move in between phase 3 and 4, and I hope I didn't break the game, because this would be a first time if it happens.
Oh, good.
Oh, we did.
Oh.
Okay, I think. Can I attack? Okay, we're good, we're good. Okay. And now, we die. And there's going to be a parry coming up here. I have been unsuccessful in the practice run, so see if I get it. We got it.
First try.
And this is the other change. They are a lot more generous with all these notes.
Yeah, earlier the notes were complete RNG, so you didn't know if you were going to get 1 or like 20.
There we go. I think I might be able to die here soon.
They should be able to
okay,
get
I'm not gonna be able to die, but on the bright side, I might be able to end the fight here. Yep, it's over.
There we go. Nice.
That was by far the fastest 10-10 fight I've ever had.
That was really well, yeah.
I might have made my time back up from the approach, maybe.
Also, plotline wise, May is obsessed with 1010. So doing what she's doing right now is she's doing it. It's she knows it's for the better of everything and for them, but she's like super sad that she has to do it.
That is one good addition that the developers put in. Is a sense of like, you know, emotions. It's really good. They really put the feeling into it.
Abandoned ship. And we're there. Also, fun fact. The reason why they're called 1010 is because of Neon J. If you didn't know, Neon is the 10th element in the periodic table, and J is the 10th letter of the English alphabet. So, yeah. Why do I know that? Just because I saw it on a YouTube comment. People really love to point out all the hidden details, but I mean, hey, that just makes it a lot cooler.
Yeah, there's so much inside of this game, and there's just so much lighthearted humor, like we said earlier, and so many references. It makes your first casual playthrough probably one of those ones that you're just gonna always remember.
Definitely.
Let's get this cutscene, just let it play. And now that we beat 1010, we are going to feed Ellie for the 5th time, and then we are going to get the quick travel station. And even though it's late at the run, doesn't matter. Any fast travel is honestly very good. So, get this cutscene.
Cup of water.
TV
Feels like
guy.
Oh, we forgot to mention the gag about the TVs too.
Oh yeah, we broke the TV.
Yeah, whenever someone gets frustrated, they break a TV in one of the cutscenes.
Yeah. Now that don't. And
Got it. You ready? Soup.
oh,
And so now we,
And funny enough, just to fix it is just put tape on it.
yeah,
Doesn't matter, we still punched it again. All right, and we have the helicopter right here. And just gotta make sure I don't spam A. There we go, okay. So this will bring us straight to the vinyl player, which is very useful for us. And Eve, in terms of the patch, is the biggest winner in terms of time saving. The approach before in 1.3, the flybots actually took 3 notes to kill, which was a very big pain because we just had to waste our time grabbing notes from all these enemies. But now they have reduced the HP to 2 for every flybot in the room. Also, there are these dark brown bots in that approach alone. But then they switched the color to the light gray ones to indicate that they're weaker. Still same 2 hits with Mayday. And then the Eve fight itself, yeah, you know all that health that Sayu's final phase had? I'm fairly certain they just took that health from Eve to make the fight less frustrating. So
yeah.
In that fight, I am going to need to concentrate because there's a very specific pattern where I need to parry 8 times, or no, not 8 times. What is it called? I parry 6 times, 5 times, and then 8 times in that exact order. But let's go into the approach here.
All right, so going through the approach that he's going to kill this red bot right here, and he's going to collect some notes. And coming up later into the room 2. So coming up into room 2, he's going to do an air dodge, kill his first bot, roll, kill this other one, and we just have to kill about like two enemies just to progress into the other one. You may see him hit mobs going into the next one, so you could just build up meter.
And then real quick, you'll notice later on that we do have Return of the Flybots. Like we mentioned in 1010, how they were on different notes of the beat. The parries that we use for the Flybots will be on the 4th measure of the 4th beat, or the 4th beat of the 4th measure, I should say, in each particular phrase. And that's when we end up countering them, so we can basically try to kill both of them at the same time.
And as mentioned by Rox before like the run, he mentioned in this room, this is kind of bad in like a speed run, but in this room they actually spread out the mobs instead of having them closer. All right, we're doing good so far. Kind of muck a S on health a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, if I die here, it's whatever. It's technically a time loss, but oh, that's bad. That's really bad. No placement right there.
Yeah.
I think this thing teleports near me, right? I don't care if I die. Just try and. There you go.
Get a troll bot. So with that bot, he can actually just teleport whenever he wants.
That's fine.
And the thing with like dying in this game, there's no really repercussions about it. You just pretty much just restart where you just died at instead of like restarting the whole entire approach.
And the music continues, so no matter if you wait a second to spawn or not, the music continues, so the patterns all stay the same with everything. And this is our last room here for the Eve approach. Once again,
So right here, you're going to use a Mars attack? Okay.
Once again, during the Eve fight, we're going to remain silent because it's very, 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 it's a very intense boss fight. So we're going to make sure MoistRock gets all the dedication and all the attention that he needs for the fight.
All right.
And so, like he said before, like in order, he needs to parry about like 6 times, 5 times, and 8 times in different types of phases. So in this first phase right here, he needs to parry 6 times in order to proceed on. Nice.
Very good first phase.
And what's so unique about like this fight here is that when you switch over from like Zook into Mayday, the rhythm of the whole entire boss fight changes. Oof. Really on point with the
Very
parries.
good. Very good.
Last phase should have been technically faster. Missing that first set of hands is just really bad. And also, if you notice, I actually wasn't supposed to hit Eve 6 times in the second phase. So I actually messed up the damage calculation because you don't want the mirror to go away from you. Otherwise, you have to spend around like 4 seconds just chasing it and then getting to the end. But overall, it was an average boss fight.
Yeah. No, it's metered wise, Eve's fight is very progressive going into I believe a 5-8 at one point. It's a very progressive time signature, which messes everything up because it's so hard to really predict exactly where you're gonna hit a lot of that type of stuff. So that was a very, very, very well done fight. Also,
yes.
plotline wise, Eve was Zook's ex, or they were dating at one point. They broke up. Eve was kind of never really over it, and she's still not really over it. So after you finish the fight and everything like along those lines, it's up to Zook, who understands what's going on, to kind of consult Eve and tell Eve everything's gonna be okay. You're an amazing person. You're very creative. You have a lot of good skills and stuff along those lines. And Eve is really not happy that she's losing Zook, and Zook's trying to essentially comfort her and say, hey, listen, you know, you're awesome, exactly who you are, and never change, never do anything else along those lines, and be all that you can. It's a somber way to end that, if you will, bittersweet, if you will.
Yeah, unfortunately, here we can't really avoid getting S if you want the optimal time. 350 is okay. I would guess I probably took around maybe a minute 20 getting through the 3 phases. If you go to, I posted a video on Twitter where if you get the if you get the optimal timing and you get all the mirror hits before they move away, you can beat the first 3, or you can beat all 3 phases within under a minute and like 5 seconds. And so, for any future runs that happen, the PB or the world record is definitely gonna be determined on who can do Eve perfectly.
Yep.
Because that is essentially a minute. I would even go as far as to say it's 2 minutes faster than the 1.3 patch. So yeah.
Yeah, and as you can see now, we are at the very, very top of the leaderboards in terms of like the top 10 charts, whatever. Everyone loves Rock. Rock rules. Me being the Rock metalhead, I'm so down with that. But we have one big fight left, and that's Tatiana, our big evil baddie.
Okay, this is tonight.
Pretty much the Simon of the city.
Yes, yes. Tatiana basically is, yeah, she commands everything, and she runs the entire No Straight Roads kind of archetype. And so we're gonna go straight to her, knock on her doors, and say, "Hey, look, we're #1 here on the charts. Give us a second chance."
Like, praise us.
Yeah, albeit a bit assertively.
Yeah.
There we go. And there you go. Here's a new district. And weirdly enough, why would you call the game No Straight Roads when there's literally a straight road heading over to NSR Tower? Curious.
Yeah, I've wondered that myself.
Look how big this thing is. Alright. And coming up to the Tatiana fight, there is a elevator that we have to go up. And it's, again, another auto-scroller where we're just waiting. But since we are technically in the boss fight, it triggers the idle to meter skill. So we're going to be able to build up 2 full bars as Mayday. If I know the correct timing, I'm going to let Zook also get a bit of energy here. Because we're going to build up meter as Mayday during the actual fight anyway. And maybe it's just better since we can explain it early on. But so the way this fight works now is this comes from Zuka, the Japanese runner. He figured out the whole damage threshold thing. So the whole reason why we got the upgrade for the charge attack is because there's going to be a cog that starts spinning around the battlefield. So we need to basically, the cog has a damage threshold and our minimum damage counter before it spins away, like the planets in DJ. But if we do 3 attacks, 4 normal attacks into a charge attack, we can actually go beyond the minimum damage, and that damage carries on towards the health bar, and we're able to kill it within 2 movement cycles. Oh, and the faster you kill the cog, then the more time you have to attack Tatiana in certain parts. Not the first phase though, you're going to need to use Mark's attack to iframe through some of her swings. We get a lot of damage. We'll form a key, shoot it. This boss fight goes pretty fast, and it's pretty consistent overall.
It's a shame that the final boss is like such a, you know, the way it is, I guess you could say.
I think it's fine. I think the music is definitely really good.
Oh, no, the
this,
music
but
slaps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I really love it.
I brought order and progress to the city. I have each district vote for their own charter.
Okay, we're a bit slow here. Okay, yeah, we're definitely slow. That's fine. I'm gonna have to. Oh, that was bad. Okay, I need to change the strategy here. I can't just use one attack now.
Uh-oh.
I think I can use Zook. Yeah, she's gonna stand still. Ah, shit.
It's the people who favor you.
We're gonna have to just. Oh yeah, this is really bad. This is really bad. Whatever.
You fail to see how much this city has improved.
Fine. Not a huge fan of that cycle.
Yeah. And then, I forget what the keys are actually in terms of plot points.
I don't know too.
I would say, like, I don't know, she have like a thick covering over her skin, so
Something like keys
it
to
just,
unlocking her inner soul or something like that, you know?
Oh no.
If you notice the background too, each background changes for each individual of these phrases. The first one had kind of silhouettes of all the artists in there. Now we kind of have the city skyline. So Tatiana's getting more and more aggressive at us saying because she believes rock is dead, rock is not a real genre anymore. There's no reason to, and now she's getting angry, and now she's in flames. I don't know why, but she reminds me of someone here.
Plot elements?
I don't know.
Oh man.
Something maybe ghoulish or something. I can't think, you know?
probably from that one band. Maybe it was like a jazz band.
Yeah.
got an excellent pause there. Doesn't matter. Oh, hey,
Oh,
that's,
got energy.
that's
That's good.
optimal.
That's really nice, yeah.
So shut up and let this city prosper.
Idle bits.
And so we're almost done with the Tatiana fight, by the way. We have one more phase left.
Leave this to me.
Since we don't have to worry about the car or anything like that, we just kind of let it sit here. Let a nice guitar solo happen. She gets real fed up.
All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, and you're dead.
All right, and that's it.
GG.
One way to end this.
And sure enough, Tatiana, we find out in the cutscenes.
Green light.
I'll wait for it actually to. I'll wait for this to play too. This is the last. No, it's not.
The last. Oh, it's not. Yeah, it's not the last bam.
Yeah, I forgot it too. All right, and then we find out after this that we get another cutscene. We find out that Tatiana was the lead guitar player of the Ghoulings, who May idolized and was her inspiration into rock and roll the whole time. So
But
Tatiana was the lead guitarist of the Ghoulings. Plot twist: she was actually a rock star.
oh, gasp.
Plot twist don't end there.
I'll take that.
But we also have another plot twist.
Yes.
Yes, the classic
still a
roles
really
in the
good Tatiana
story. So it turns out that even with rock alone, we cannot power the city because you cannot just have one side of the argument always win. Just think about it from all perspectives.
No.
Hey, Cliff. And guess what? He's trying to send a satellite to basically kill everyone. So, you know.
That satellite that we saw with the big flat screen that had the numbers approaching, yeah, that actually was programmed to be an explosion. So
Yeah, so imagine being like a #1 fan to a rock singers, and they just reject you and say, "Oh, you know what? Just send a satellite to your city." No hard
Yeah.
feeling, right?
yeah,
All
And
right. So this is a really slow finale. So the positioning, we're gonna have to transform like 4 energy ball thingies. So there's actually an unintended glitch. So if you know, normally when you do the finale, you power up all of this, and then you would have to do a showstopper sort of thing. But what we can do the showstopper early. We can switch in between, activate it, and that way it saves us around 2 to 3 seconds for every area we're going to. We're basically going back to every single artist that we fought before. So next we're going to 1010, then Yinu, then Sayu, then Subatomic. And the positioning of where these energy orbs are always going to be the same places. So right there with Eve, it was going to be a, let me think, counterclockwise diamond starting from the right, and then up to 1010 is going to be a right triangle starting from the bottom left, up, middle, then down. Yinu is going to be a counterclockwise square from top right. Sayu clockwise square from bottom left, and then DJ is an hourglass shape starting from top right. So yeah, that's all there is to this finale. It's just very slow. That, and there we go.
Yeah, it's pretty much just getting hit by charity rocks along the way.
Yep. You know, I think the patch actually fixed it, because before, like, there are times where those robots, they just would not hit you. And, like, I didn't care,
yeah.
because, like, who wants to get hit by that? But then this update, we're like, you know what, let's just make this game a bit more fun. And then you just get hit over and over, and it's like, wow. They really thought this was a good change.
But hey guys, do you think that satellite is getting a little bit closer?
Nah. It's just the positioning of the monitor.
Kind of reminds me of that one game, Link.
Oh, And then Nintendo, please don't sue us.
you're talking about Sonic, right? Sonic 3 featuring
yeah.
Knuckles?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that's what I thought too. Okay.
I think so, yeah.
Oh, jeez. Okay.
Speaking of, well, not really speaking of anything, wasn't there something else we wanted to talk about during this section?
Oh yeah. So, let's just ask the DHU tech and the staff. Are we allowed to do 1 or 2 boss fights after this?
Please, oh please.
Our
Oh, am I just talking to thin air?
Yeah, pretty
Or
much.
Am I just crazy? Oh no, I'm crazy. I just need to know how many fights that we can do because I want to rematch some bosses.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah.
Sorry, I was
Oh, yeah, no.
I was
But how much?
answering another question.
I was wondering how many can we do though? Can we do one or can we do two?
You can go and do 2.
All right, that is.
I'll jam.
Oh, whoops. Uh-oh.
Give the chat some extra content. So
Yeah.
Yeah. They'll
You're
enjoy
in for
it.
a treat, chat.
I think it will be a welcoming change for the viewers, for those who don't own the game or who have not, followed the game.
Or for
So I did
those-
mention.
Go ahead.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I did mention this is the 1.4 patch, but at the very beginning, I did specify that this was a holiday patch. So after this, I guess we're going to be feeling a bit festive, and we're going to be revisiting 1010 and Sayu, because I think those are probably the best 2 out of the 5. Yeah, 5.
And like this game is a rhythm game, music game, all the songs and a lot of stuff that you're going to see have all been remixed to have a holiday vibe to it. So we have remixes of all, with the exception of DK West, of all the songs, all the boss battles, I believe, all with a very holiday-esque theme to it.
All right, and this is the last one right here. And speaking of which, even if you don't buy the game and you like the soundtrack nonetheless, then all of it is on YouTube and Spotify. That includes base version, rock, alternative versions, and the now newly released Christmas themes for every single boss except for DK, as we just said. Huh? Maybe that satellite is bigger. They just really took that.
Wow.
They just took that JPEG and they just kind of.
Yeah. Also, real quick,
And it's-
shout out to all the composers who did write the music. They were all done by different musicians, so they all had different vibes to them and stuff like that. And they all did an amazing job with this. So I just want to give a big shout out to all of them.
Yep, Nikki Simmons, the vocals for the Sayu fight, James Landino, and Funk Fiction. Those are the notable ones. I don't know who the composers are for the Yinu and for the Tatiana, but I know Eve and DJ are Funk Fiction. James Landino did 1010 and Sayu. And right here, we're about to approach time. Time ends when we do the last Shakalaka Bam.
And if you noticed, Tatiana had the guitar from the Ghoulings in that post that you saw earlier.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, also get ready on time.
And come on, go up. And time. There we go.
Nice,
Nice
GG.
job. Nice
And
job.
that was
I
no
just
straight
wanna-
roads right there.
I just want to request from chat. Can we get some BAMs in the chat?
I just want to know if anyone has the stream up. What was my time? I'm gonna guess maybe 1 hour 13.
1:11:17.
Wow.
Oh,
Nice.
that's actually a minute longer than my previous or the world record. So, not a bad way to start off the not a bad way to start off the first world record for Holiday
Yeah,
MG.
very,
Alright.
very well done.
Congrats on the world record.
GGs.
Yeah, thanks,
Yeah.
man. And before we say our goodbyes and our thank yous to everyone who has been watching and supporting, we have some holiday festive cheers to go along. So, I'm hearing a helicopter. That was from the cutscene. Hopefully that audio gets destroyed.
Yeah, there would be like an instance where you're at the final cutscene and you restart to come back to the plaza, you will actually get an audio glitch a lot.
All right, and see, we're at 1010, normal. And if we press Y 2 times, and as long as DigiCo allows it, we are going to be playing the cutscenes because they are quite something.
And look at that.
Oh no, okay.
Oh, wow.
Okay, if this audio keeps going, I'm going to restart the game really fast. Okay, it's going. Let me just quickly do this. It should reset it.
So for the
I am
record,
terrible.
in the meantime, when we go through all this, I haven't had the opportunity to watch any of these. I just listened to the music on YouTube the day on when they launched. So for me, going into these Christmas remixes is going to be completely new.
Yeah, same here.
All right, Metrovision again. Okay, and the audio's fixed this time. All right. Load. And we'll keep the talking to a minimum so you guys can enjoy the holiday remix.
So cat jams to everybody.
Yep. Spam them cap jam.
The only thing I will say is we will be playing throughout all the phases because we can't do the skip here.
Your flying circus ends now, 1010. Oi! We're crashing your party. Hello? 1010.
Oh,
Boys, our one true love is finally here. Let's be the ideal boyfriends and give her our utmost attention.
What?
Attention!
Wait, why are we saluting again?
We salute you for gracing us with your exotic beauty, your lustrous hair, your beautiful gaze, even your lips, which form that radiant smile. Our breaths are stifled. Stifled.
You think you can sway her heart that easily? She's not going to fall for those cheap compliments. You tell her, May. May?
Wow. You're just jelly that all these pretty boys are fawning over me.
May.
Did you hear what they said about my lips, though?
What have you done to her, 1010?
Haters gonna hate. When we show up, we get that sexy shit done. You better put on your tactical thermal goggles because we're gonna bring the heat!
I just have the biggest grin on my face.
Same here.
It's so great.
Where? Oh,
You mess with my troops, you mess with me. 1010 never surrenders.
This is so great.
It really is.
this is fantastic.
Baby, electrifying.
there's no use. They keep coming. We're better off chilling with these handsome robots and checking out their crib, and after that we can have a jacuzzi party with them.
Okay, that flying factory has got to go.
It's like when I said earlier, now you like watching these cutscenes, you kind of get an idea of what I was talking about earlier when I said I have the biggest grin on my face whenever I play this game.
It's just nothing but good vibes.
It really is, yes. The community echoes it too.
This is one thing that you will learn from the game is that music itself will just move you.
And we're about to witness the phase 3 that we skipped in the actual run.
Oh,
They have the noses.
They're even more cuter.
I know.
How can you hit that?
Oh, the stage tears apart now a little bit too.
Oh, I actually didn't realize that. It's melting.
All right, good work. I think we're done here. Or not.
As long as the flag of freedom stands, I will keep on fighting, commencing all kill protocol
feel like this is like Idol mixed in with Power Rangers now.
Yeah. It's just a special season.
Yeah.
Nice, Barry.
Yeah, really nice.
Thank
Barry.
you. And there's the Tenten fight right there.
There's the Tenten.
Hey.
And we don't need to watch that again. And now, just making sure, can we still do the Sayu fight? Maybe silence is a yes.
Yes.
All right.
All right.
Let's get it. And then after that, we will be done.
You have the best knack for asking me questions while I'm entering questions in text.
I am so sorry. I'm just making sure I don't cut into anyone else. All right.
No, it is perfectly fine. It's uncanny, and I appreciate it.
All right.
I'm
And here we
excited
are.
for. Oh my god.
It's so beautiful.
Oh my god, that's gorgeous.
And while we're waiting for the music, I will say there's actually a hidden, or like there's some
What a dreamy
vocals
place.
from the beta version of this song where they use like, you know, where she says la 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 la, and that beta part got into the actual Christmas remix. So yeah.
Sweet honey bubbles.
It turned into a pistol.
No way. We're here to bring rock back to Vinyl City, and
A little
Just-
bit toward.
this is ridiculous.
Just get ready for the second cutscene after this, because it's the way she moves with the bell is actually amazing.
May, don't say the R word. It's a very taboo subject in this district.
The R word? You mean
sleigh
real?
bells.
Look at her, Zook. She's not real.
She is baiting in our hearts.
Yes, yes.
Real as your love for each other.
Wait, what?
Whoa, hold on.
I can see it in your eyes. Your hearts are pounding like the beating drums of the ocean.
Bubba?
It means follow your heart, Sue.
But there are many factors to consider, so I...
Hey, fight, all right? Zook, snap out of it, and you're still not real. Let's talk more rock.
All right.
You're so
I love that line.
mean. Not take this seriously. Look at me. Like I have no choice but to defeat you with the power of love that you
This is a giant bell. It's adorable.
Hey, how about you come down here and face us?
The bell can't turn, so it just looks so awkward.
power in the world.
Oh, they're not dressed up for the holidays.
Unfortunately, they're not, but it is brighter inside, so I guess that's something.
Yeah.
First redesign.
Much love to our animators.
Yes.
Ooh, she looks cute.
That's me.
Hey, come back here. Get her, Zook. I want to pinch her cheeks.
This whole layout is just phenomenal.
It is.
Yes, sir.
Oh, great. Not skipping.
It's so hard to not skip.
Yeah.
Sing and dance with me, okay? 1, 2, 3.
One, two, three, cheese.
May,
What's happening to me?
Oh, it just sounds so better.
It does, though. Also, the background now has got all the snow on it.
Oh man, Rain of Fish can never leave my side.
Oh, I never noticed the computer chip down there that says Sayu's name on it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I never noticed that.
I just love the Voltron reference.
Yeah.
So cool.
Stop running away.
Whoops. Oh, skipped again. All good though.
Also, if you don't know, in the background with the green, the orange, the yellow, the red, the purple, those little I can't even think what they're called. But in when you go to like a lot of Japanese like idol concerts,
Oh,
they
the glow
mostly-
sticks.
Glow sticks, yeah, yeah, thank you. They have glow sticks there that you mostly go back and forth during the idol concerts, or you know, if you're like me, probably seeing Baby Metal or Bandmate or something. They do it as well for those. So that's kind of a resemblance. At least I know it's Japanese culture of live events.
I was just peeping the new camera angles.
Oh, what about camera angles?
And I was just seeing how the camera angle was just shifting more to the left when you was in the middle.
Huh. I mean that. Oh, all the angles are just so weird now. But I mean, you just have to get used to it. And there we go.
Say what?
We should link our intangible feelings. No way!
I'm scared on how the fish is gonna look.
Oh, it's something, all right. Especially the cover art won't beat her.
Yeah.
Maybe we should just become like a whole tree. This one big fish tree.
That would be kind of cool to see, actually.
Well, she's a whole of something. I don't know if you have noticed the motif, but it's coming up right now.
And they get the Lalas in there from the original mix, too.
Good old USB joke right here.
Yep.
Surprise, she's a bell.
I'm just dying of
Same
laughter
day.
right now.
I don't know how to feel about it.
I know, right?
Oh, oops. Maybe that? Oh, welcome back. And that is the Sayu fight. And before we end this off, we just need to appreciate the glorious cover art once we defeat her. Oh, and you get to hear this.
Oh yeah.
Wow. Okay. Shaka Lago Bay.
Just pay attention to the side here in the middle of the picture. Jeez. That's me whenever a mistake happened during the run. All right, guys, that was it. That was No Straight Roads. Thank you
Good job,
for
dude.
all the viewers who came to watch. Thank you to Midnight and Sea Salt. If you guys would like to link your social medias right now.
Oh. Yeah, sorry about that.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah, for me, be twitch.tv/midnight_Vesper.
For me, just twitch.tv/KingSeaSalt.
And then same here, it's twitch.tv and then the MoistRock. Also, I have a YouTube channel. I did make a guide for the original NSR speedrun, which was for 1.13, but I'm gonna have to update that with this. And also, if you're gonna get the game and you want to speedrun, please do so. We have plenty of categories. NMG that you just saw. We have Penny Percent, where we do a big out of bounds skip towards Tatiana. And then we also have individual boss runs, all the bosses in one difficulty. And then we have the 100% category. Because please, I'm the only person in there. I am lonely there.
Don't worry, I'll be there.
Oh, thick. More competition. All right, well, that was it. That was No Straight Roads.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much, MoistRock. That was a delight. The run itself and then the extra bosses, the Christmas theme. That was so great. It was fantastic.
Thank you, and thank you for having us here.
Yeah, absolutely. And we are going to be setting up for the final run, quote unquote, of West Coast Weekend. It's going to be a Pump It Up showcase by Happy Feets. So you don't want to miss that. So hang tight, and we will be right back.